Your former life was in a bliss of ignorance, until you've awakened to the darkness waiting on the doorstep of our fragile dimension. Something terrible left its eons-old slumber, and the reality, as we knew it, collapsed. The city of Arkham was pulled to somewhere not of this world, and its residents are in the shadows of true terror. As a survivor of this catastrophe, you should investigate the strange occurrences in the city and survive the rising darkness, physically and mentally, if possible.
All right. Let's create a character. We'll go male. Alright, age. Hello. There was like a French horn in the background, and like for a second I thought that was like Dustin in his room, like going, like half awake, like whining about something. Alright, I guess I'll just stick with adult. Archetype. Academic. Miskatonic University. This character used to be a research scientist at Miskatonic University, sent on a remote expedition in a foreign land. He had no warning of the doom patiently waiting beneath the frigid wastes. Medicine, psychology, and science skills can be improved to the maximum level. Requires a minimum score of 6 in mind. Aristocrat. After the loss of his mother, this character is the sole remnant of a noble family. His memories provoked by his return to the family estate are not all pleasant. Occult, science, and speechcraft skills can be improved to the maximum level. This archetype has no attribute requirement. Criminal. Interesting. This character used to be a hired gun for an underworld boss. His last stop on a long night of collecting protection money was a nightclub known for its patrons' peculiar taste in entertainment. Firearms, stealth, and subterfuge skills can be improved. Minimum score 6 in agility. Explorer. This character is a professional hunter and adventurer. While exploring the Dark Continent, he met an ancient tribe. What he views as simple tribal superstition will come back to haunt him. Athletics, firearms, and survival. 6 in agility. Investigator. This character is a private investigator who used to work for Boston Bureau of Investigation. His latest case, attempting to locate a missing child, turned out to be much more complicated than a common kidnapping. Investigation, firearms, and psychology, 6 in senses. A cultist. Now that may be something I'm interested in. This character is a member of a hidden order. The backing of the order has made life easier so far, but the initiation rite required to join the inner circle may involve some complications. Investigation, medicine, and occult skills can be improved. Requires a minimum score of 6 in will. Or performer. This character is an actress or actor for a traveling theater troupe. She was invited to Arkham by a woman desiring a private performance at her mansion. How could she refuse such an enthusiastic admirer? Athletics, speechcraft, and stealth. 6 in presence or soldier. Secret government assaulted an isolated coastal town. Enemy was not entirely human. Firearms, melee, and survival. 6 in physique. I don't know. I'm leaning towards either a cultist or performer. What do you think? Like, at first I was drawn to occultist, but obviously there being an actor archetype, that's quite interesting as well, given especially my background. Alright, yeah, we'll go with that one then. We're just gonna go actor. Alright. Belief system. Humanistic. Throughout history, mankind has survived countless threats. If we stop wringing our hands and start cooperating, we will live to see the human spirit prevail once more. Extra sanity can be gained by selecting humanistic dialogue choices and committing acts of altruism. Interesting. Materialistic. If we're all doomed, let's make our final days worthwhile. Wealth, lust, power, pursue whatever eases your pain. Nihilistic. At last, there's no doubt that human beings are of no significance in the cold machinations of the cosmos. Thus, every action is of equal importance and worthlessness, just as it has always been. Extra sanity can be gained by nihilistic dialogue choices. A nihilist cannot gain sanity through her actions, but begins the game with higher mental resistance. Interesting. Divine. The Black Day is God's final test of humanity. We failed him once, but he has given us this last chance of redemption. Rational. No matter how unusual or baffling, no phenomenon is beyond the boundaries of science and rational thought. There has to be an explanation. What must be done is to search and find it. Esoteric. When supernatural becomes natural, the only path is to embrace the knowledge of the ancient forces behind the veil. I think I'm going to go with... nihilistic might be interesting. But I think I may go with humanistic. Character identity. Chap. Alright, attributes. that like warbling French horn in the background gets me every time. I seriously think Dustin's like standing back there just like whining about something. Alright, alright. Let's do it. Venturing into attic. Albeit slowly, Arkham's junk economy will replenish itself over time. If you find yourself running low on SIGs, consider scavenging as a way to increase your resources. Stygian tales, the doom that came to Arkham. The town is stuck between strange dimensions. Years passed since your encounter with that peculiar fellow known as the Dismal Man. When last you met, he instructed you, "Find me beyond Arkham after the Black Day." At the time, these words did not mean much to you, but soon after you would come to understand. On what is now known as the Black Day, under the shadow of the Awakened, the world you knew vanished, and with it your hopes, future, and loved ones. For reasons unknown, the city of Arkham was separated from the carcass of Earth and exiled to an other place under alien stars, a twilight realm between dimensions. Unlike many others, you survived, body and mind mostly intact. Ever since, you have existed from day to day in the gray gloom of the old eel house, waiting for that enigmatic man to call, a man whose very existence you were now beginning to question, until you wake into another layer of the nightmare, until the visit at the old attic. Footsteps of the dismal man. 2 lamps in the darkness. Okay. Find the dismal man, follow the dismal man into the streets of Arkham. It's too dark to go outside without a light. Yeah, let's grab that. Oh, I've got to equip it. Cool, cool. The cook is dead, only serving cans. The old eel house. What? It's dead folks. They skeletons. Getting all haunted mansion up in here. Ugh. Now they're killing each other. Sanity lost. 15 horror witnessed. Great. At the gates of the Miskatonic. Inspect the entrance of Miskatonic University. Alright, let's check and see what all's up here. Dang. All sorts of good stuff. Just take it all. Take all this stuff. These decayed fragments of furniture betray the craftsmanship of talented carpenters. How heartbreaking to see their fine work reduced to a pile of scrap. Alright, let's put on some garb here. Tuxedo. Alright. Powdered cocaine. Love it. Is that Actors Guild certificate? Blank notebook. Laudanum shot. Yeah. Oh, I mean, just carrying around a box of cocaine and a syringe of laudanum. Whiskey. Water. Alright, cool. He's too busy playing. Let's talk to the barkeep. You see Marino, the manager and bartender of the Old Eel. He's been your host for almost a year now, charging in exchange the last of your precious resources. He has a tendency to suck you dry whenever he gets the opportunity. Good morning, Cornuto. If you can call this never-ending fucking twilight morning. What was all that hurly-burly upstairs? Bad dreams? You could say that. Why am I not surprised? I recommend hitting the bottle before going to sleep. Makes things easier. Since you're awake, let's talk about the cigs you owe me. You were too drunk to pay yesterday and told me to remind you later, remember? See, but I don't see any bruises on myself, and if I'm hurt, I must have paid the... If I am unhurt, I must have paid the bill. Seems dispirited by your argument. I'm not in the mood for a pissing contest. I'll have all your cigs eventually. Later, Cornito. Cool. What's this dude? You'll excuse me. But this guy. You see an eccentric, middle-aged man completely focused on the darts game. He alone is playing. Exultation all but radiates from this odd fellow. Care for a game of cricket? You don't get a chance to play against the world champion every day. He passes several of his darts to you. World champion? Of course. Surprised? You have any clue what happened to the rest of the world? Knock knock, anybody there? No one? Good riddance. Earth was a big pain in the butt anyway. Here, there is only one champion. Herschel, the master of darts. This makes me the world darts champion. Ready for the game now? Let's play. Herschel looks as if he's stripped from all purpose. Glancing at his expressionless eyes, you feel like you're gazing right into the abyss. He starts to talk slowly. Cheater. I didn't cheat. Cheater. Don't be a spoilsport. Cheater, 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 cheater. With each repetition, his speech starts to sound less and less rational until it turns into a frenzied howl. Dude! At least I got some cigs. Wish they'd let me inside. You see a typical Arkham resident. Tired and decrepit looking. He looks at you uneasily. Oof. Yeah, it looks like it hurts. Here's a cig. He's confused by your gesture, but quickly snags the cig nonetheless. Thank you, sir. You are kind. Not like those bullies. He glances timidly at the bouncers by the bar's front door. I'd like to ask you something. I'm listening, sir. How do you survive in Arkham? Between the mob and the cult, you mean? I don't know, because so far someone else got crushed instead of me. Anyway, I doubt my luck will last much longer since the Black Day. I've thought every day would be my last. Really? I don't really know what that's like. I've never had one. So tell me about the mob. The mob is the law. How did they gain power? All legal authority was buried in the ruins on the Black Day. Every one of Arkham's leading citizens, Mayor Anderson, Chief of Police Constance, Father Gratian, vanished. The mob took to the streets. They brought order of a sort back to Arkham. Tyranny, you mean? Now, if you'll excuse me, tell me about the cult. Math fanatics who devoted themselves to Cthulhu and the other old ones. They rule the ruins of North Arkham across the Miskatonic River. You know, I feel like this is like a good continuation of where we left off in the other game last week. Because, you know, that Call of Cthulhu game, we ended with summoning Cthulhu. And maybe that was the Black Day. And then this is like the aftermath. How can I get to the other side of the river? I don't recommend it. There are things lurking in the water. Only the cult can pass the river at will, but I have no idea how. Sometimes you can see their boats on Miskatonic, all painted red, crimson omens of doom. What do you know about the Black Day? Nothing more than you, I guess. We had all the signs, right? People having the same nightmares, the mysterious disappearances, whole families massacred. We saw it coming, but pretended everything was fine. The Black Day started with that apocalyptic roar piercing deep into our minds. The sky melting, colors fading. I can't remember anything else. It hurts me to remember as well. When we came to our senses, Arkham lay beneath an alien sky, banished from our home forever. We are alone, all alone in this purgatory, left to the mercy of tyrants and deviants. He burst into tears. Not much as you can see. There's the old eel house if you're looking for a few drinks and a roof over your head. And if you're planning to numb yourself, Richter's Drug Store is the place. You'll be fine if you stay away from the Marsh warehouse, and I'm sure you know better than to hang around near the grandfather altar. That slimy bastard old Richter runs the only remaining pharmacy in Arkham. But don't be fooled, his business is not medicine. He deals drugs. Kind of rumors. Rumors of him taking advantage of his regular customers and sort of dreadful stuff. This warehouse. I know that it used to be run by the Marsh family of Innsmouth. We'd been hearing that the place was being used for bootlegging and sorts. Only ghouls occupy it now. Beasts in that ridden flesh from your bones. What do you know about the Marshes? Not much. I know that they are the ruling family of Innsmouth. Their great-grandfather, Obed Marsh, was an important figure in the town's past, I reckon. Reclusive, weird folk, these Innsmouthians. What are these ghouls you mentioned? Never seen one with my own eyes, but I've seen what they can do to people. They say they are dog-like demons, feral parodies of men. They creep out of the dark to prey upon us. You can hear their eerie howls throughout Arkham. Tell me about the old eel house. The old eel was a shady place even before the Black Day. We've been hearing that the owner, Marino, has some connections with the mafia in the West. The bar took the disguise of a restaurant when the Prohibition came. As you can guess, there was no need for that anymore. You can rent a bed, or let's say a dirty mattress in the attic, if you don't have a place to go and get some moonshine from the bar below. Gives you the creeps. You see a typical Arkham resident. Okay, what is that grotesque monument over there? The cult erected it in place of the old Lincoln statue. Grandfather altar, they call it. Damned atrocity. Cultists come from across the river to sacrifice people who've been marked by the mob. Blood offerings to Grandfather Cthulhu. Cthulhu? Even the name freezes my blood. The grandfather, they call him. Their new god who was awakened on the Black Day with its brethren, the great old ones. The fanatics of the cult torture, sacrifice, and kill in their names. Why am I not surprised? Now, if you'll excuse me. Beat it, punk. Tis happenings again, the lurker below. Crack open the ground it will.
It's you.
That was a close one. Interesting. A key numbered 0. An odd-looking brass key that probably holds the only clue to reach the dismal man. Journal, let's see. Unlock the mystery of the key numbered 0. Do I look like a locksmith or something? I haven't got the slightest idea. Maybe nutty old Isidore could help you. He runs the antique store. He has a thing for keys, or so I've heard. Where is this antique store? It's called Schmidt's Antiques, and it's located in French Hill near the clubhouse. It's an old wooden building, hard to miss. There's still all kinds of strange objects on display. Thank you. I better take my leave then. Alright, where is this French Hill? Get to French Hill. Okay. So we got a ways to go. A well-built, dark-skinned man is approaching you. You doubt he's from these parts. He seems unaffected by Arkham's nightmarish conditions, and there is something inviting, almost provocative, in his thin smile. Hola, senor. Please forgive my... He tries to find the right word. Interruption, but I've been seeing you at the ordeal and wanted to presentarme. Who are you? I'm called Eduardo. Eduardo Carnella, to be exact, but there is nothing special about my apellido. I am just son of another poor fisherman from Kohimar. Yet I carried the Carnella name to this far part of the world. Now all that remains is our past, no? You may be right. I'm Captain Dad. There's a crackle of energy in Eduardo's eyes as he firmly shakes your hand. A pleasure to meet you, senor. You're here for something, right? I have a sensacion that you may need my services. Different from you, I am accustomed to this survival in the streets, the never-ending sobreviviente. I've survived the Spaniards, then American occupation, then Civil War, then the American again. No hard feelings, though. But you see my point now. I know what to do when things get, what do you say, hot. I can be the difference between life and Santa Muerte. So you're offering to fight for me? Amor con amor se paga, y lo demás con dinero. Love can do much, money can do everything. If you pay me my sig, senor, you will have your own special angel protector. How much for bodyguard duty? 2006 for each day I protect you. I don't care if you're fighting monsters or the mob or El Diablo himself. I will have work for you in the near future, but you have to give me a better price. Yeah, you're a survivor like me. 21.6 for a day then. Deal. Follow me. Cool. Bueno. Lead the way, senor. Eduardo Carnella, your angel protector, is by your side. Alright, journal. No, Riverside, we gotta get it. French Hill. There's the drugstore. Are you looking at me? Who, me? No, sir. No, I didn't. Oof. Let's see, should I go ahead and... Oh, that sounds rough. Another unlucky soul fallen to the tyranny of the mob. Okay, here's Schmidt's Antiques right here. There are all kinds of weird relics behind the broken glass of this old shop, which was built in the colonial era. Let's go inside. What kind of pizzas did you get? An old man is sitting behind the dusty counter, surrounded by a variety of odd objects. He doesn't look pleased to see you. Yes? Are you looking for something in particular? Nice. What is this place? This is Schmidt's Antiques, or what's left of it, and I'm Isidore Schmidt. Like the merchandise, I have been gathering dust here for a good long while. Tell me, how may I assist you, or perhaps how you can assist me? Very nice collection of keys you have. Thank you. I've put my life into this collection, though it is unfortunately incomplete. As he quickly reviews his rows of keys, you notice a deep longing in his eyes. Why the interest in keys? I've always been fascinated by keys. I started collecting them in my childhood. It was simply a hobby, of course, until the Black Day. What changed after the Black Day? It's not important. Just remember that I will pay handsomely for keys. Alright. What do you know about this key? You see a flash of greed in the old man's eyes. He hastily takes some notes to a peculiar notebook on the counter. Is it numbered 0? Oh, how interesting. Where did you get such a rare one? From a mysterious man, but I found it because of a dream. Long story. Some dreams indeed hold value. What can I offer you for that key, my friend? A key numbered 0 would be a very fine addition to my collection here. What is that notebook? Let's say it is an atlas for keys. What power they hold, what mysteries they unlock. But forget my notebook now. What do you want for the key? Tell me about it first, and I'll think about it. Forgive me, but I don't trust people easily. This particular habit also helped me tremendously in staying alive. 506. Is it for sale now? $706. That's my final offer. Don't waste your breath. I won't sell it. 1,000. Right now. Losing the key will put everything in jeopardy. You won't change my mind. Sorry. If you're not selling the key to me, I'm afraid our conversation is over. I can pay for the information. Not very tempting. But if you also give me your word to bring the key after you're done with it, this may start to look like a deal. Sure know how to barter. 56 and your word to bring me the key. Is it a deal? You're benefiting from this deal anyway. Can you lower the amount a bit? Fine. 46. Be quick or I'll change my mind. Here you go. I hope you'll also respect the other part of our deal. I'll be waiting for the key. Now for my part. That key is for the safe deposit boxes at the Bank of Arkham. I wasn't aware of the existence of one labeled 0, though. Where is the Bank of Arkham? It's located in the main street to the northwest of here, but I doubt there is much to discover there. It's in ruins now, just like the whole monetary system. As you see, we buy things with SIGs now, like destitute prisoners. We are indeed in a prison. Thank you. I'll check the place. Alright. Ain't nothing wrong with being cheap. Alright. Let's go to the bank. This is no man of Arkham or even of Earth. There is nothing human under those rags. Your kind brought this upon us. Curse this creature. Ooh. Demon! The angry mob before you is about to lynch a wretched creature you can hardly describe as human. The creature's face and hands are wrapped in tattered rags. It seems this outsider has been chosen as the scapegoat for everything these people suffered in the wake of the Black Day. Leave him alone. The crowd turns to you with a mix of fear and hatred in their eyes. One of them shouts at you, "Are you in league with this demon? Don't you see what its kind has brought upon us? Look at what you've become. Do you think we've returned to the Dark Ages?" The one leading the crowd shouts at you with anger, "Shut your mouth." Let's see. Definitely want to go with one of these speechcraft ones. What do you think? One or two. A few months have passed and already you've returned to the Salem witch trials, or can you do the same to the mob? Aren't they your real oppressors? Which one do you think? One. Certain looks are exchanged amongst the crowd. Shame on you all. You condemn this creature just because of his odd appearance. Many among the crowd have dropped their heads now, and all have fallen dead silent. The reaction is a symptom of that one particular ailment which has plagued the spirit of mankind since the beginning of its journey. Shame. Wait for them to leave. The creature approaches you cautiously. It looks thoroughly confused. After a short silence, it speaks a single word. Why? I can't allow. Why did you intervene on my behalf? No one should pay such a price simply for looking different. Gaining sanity through belief systems. You have gained sanity from role-playing your belief system correctly. Whenever you act in accordance with the character you created, you'll gain sanity. This special sanity gain can exceed the maximum amount. Cool. You can feel the creature. Examine you from head to toe. The burning amber eyes move rapidly with the effort to comprehend. Are you not human? Is this a disguise? It is not. I am human. The creature is plainly still puzzled. For whatever reason you aided me, know that I am incapable of helping my own self. Leave me be, that I may continue my search for that accursed man. What man? The man in black with no face. The man with the cane of bones. The ghostly tapping of his stick still rings in my ears. I am also looking for that man. Then you're as doomed as I am, stranger. In my bones, I know that no good would ever come from finding him. Yet I have no other choice but to find him. His countenance was the last thing I saw before finding myself in this purgatory. Perhaps we could look for this man together. The creature is silent for a moment. Then you hear the rugged voice from beneath the rags once more. It is no coincidence that you know the man with the cane of bones. Perhaps I shall walk with you for a time. May I ask your name? I don't remember. I'm unsure if I ever had one. But I know one thing. Wherever the fates toss me, I remain the outsider. I love the reference. The Outsider is my favorite Lovecraft story. Fantastic. Whoever you are, it is a pleasure. The creature gazes at you without a word. Let's go. Okay. I was wondering where that guy was. I have an offer for you. Who the hell are you? A pasty, malnourished man leaps up from within the shadows. His swollen, weary eyes are riveted on you. The scruffiness of his otherwise fine apparel corresponds with his restlessness antics. His rolling, vigilant eyes quickly scan the premises, and when he finally feels secure, he addresses you in a timid but needy fashion. I'm sorry if I startled you, sir. I'm Cornelius Moretti. I have a proposal from which we can both benefit. Pardon my abruptness, but it will only take a minute of your time. Be quick about it. Plainly in distress, he is gazing askance at the brawler standing near the bar. I'd seen you go up to the old eel attic before I got ejected by that ignoble swab. You might be just the man who can help me. Would you care to express your intentions a little more clearly? He grinds his teeth in chagrin before continuing. It was just another miserable day at the joint when I, partly encouraged by the devil's juice no doubt, finally spoke what had been on my mind for a long time. Suddenly his anger takes precedence over his nervousness. I called him out, that tyrannical devil's seed called Waxface. I denounced him as the false shepherd he really is. Nobody said a thing, of course. Cowards. Irately. There is, and will ever be only one shepherd of men, for saying that they expelled me, humiliated me, and worst of all, they marked me. Twitchingly lowers his voice. That's my death sentence, you understand? Marked? Hearing you speak the word, a surge of misgiving darkens his visage. It's not the time or the place, and besides, you're better off not knowing what it is. If I were you, I'd not withhold information from someone who might be able to help. He ponders on about your advice for a moment, and eventually concedes the point. First, they ban you from mob premises, and then the whole town starts to shun you unless they get marked too. Getting the jitters again, he peers about tremulously. Eventually, they'll get to you and turn you over to the cult, wherever you are. There's no hiding from it. Oh, Jesus, please help me. Alright, what do you want from me? Well, sir, all I'm asking is that you retrieve my heirloom pocket watch from the old eel attic. It's a valuable piece from my late father. I stashed it there, having an inkling that I might need it in the dark days ahead. It's hidden under a floorboard next to the mattress. I need it more than ever, for I'm left with nothing else. Once I barter it off, we'll split the cigs halfway. Please, will you do this for me, sir? Alright, sure, why not? A shimmer of mirth appears in his eyes. I can't put into words how much I appreciate this. But my cut is 70%. If you think it's unfair, I suggest you find someone else. No, that's not really true to my character. So with that. Oh, heavenly brother. May God bless you. I had almost lost hope that such good people still existed in this town. I'm grateful eternally. He cast one final, fretful glance at his surroundings. I'll be near the desecrated church in French Hill. I'll be safe there. It's abandoned. Now I must go before they come for me. Please hurry, sir. My life depends on it. Scurries away. Alright, let's go ahead and take care of that. I don't want to rest in the attic, but I do want to... I just told you I wanted to... You remind me of a guy. He was a cornuto, that's it. But what is a cornuto? Cornuto is someone who has horns, you know? If a wife is unfaithful to the husband, that makes the husband a cornuto, alright? What does this have to do with me, Marino? When I was the bartender of Visola, a small Italian bar in Chicago, a man used to come in there every evening, every single day. He didn't drink, he didn't seem to have any fun, he just kept looking at the patrons silently, looking for someone. Then after almost a year, I finally learned his story. He was searching for the man who fucked his wife. He came to that bar every day, staring silently. You're like him. You're waiting for someone too. You don't pursue whatever fucked up life you can have in this shitty town. Instead, you act like that cornuto. Forgive me if I put it bluntly, but who fucked you over, my friend? I'm waiting for someone, true, but it's not as simple as that. Like I care. Now name your poison. Want to rest in the attic. It's occupied now. Oh, okay. Never mind then. I'll have to do it later. Put my phone up. Alright. Let's go, take care of this key business. Alright, this is Main Street, right? Bank of Lunatics is what they're calling it. Okay, interesting. Okay, this is Main Street. Alright, so we're looking for the bank. Oh, here's the bank. Fucking loony. Alright. Vehicle's locked. Let's see if I can use the lockpick. How do I use the lockpick? Oh, it requires the subterfuge skill. So I'll probably just have to find a key. Six screws. Bank managers do. I've never been a man who puts any stock in superstition, yet my experience today has shaken my once strict convictions. I had an unannounced visitor. He was a tall man, dressed in a finely cut suit and topcoat, all of an impenetrable black, and his face, well, peculiar as this may sound, I do not remember a damned thing about it. Not his age, the look in his eyes, or the color of his hair. When I tried to recall these details, my mind goes completely blank. Oh. Cool, cool. Is there anything else I can get in here? No? These partitions were originally placed to discourage customers from entering sensitive areas. Now the only function they serve is to provide cover in a gunfight. Interesting. Wrench and laudanum shot. Let's go back here. And they give this to the outsider. Oh, he can't use it. Okay, never mind then. Shiny bits of crystal from this ruined chandelier glitter like stars against the filthy floor. Let's talk to this dude. A strangely presentable man in a sharp suit waits eagerly at one of the destroyed cash counters. The moment he sees you, he begins to speak rapidly and enthusiastically. Hello, sir. How may I assist you? As you can see, this has been a very busy day. It looks like the boom has finally come to Arkham. It's nice to see our little town thriving, don't you think? I wouldn't say thriving. Oh, don't you agree? But we are all free to express our opinions, right? That's what makes this country so... He cuts off abruptly and he freezes in place. He doesn't even blink. He looks almost like a living statue. Excuse me, sir? Some men are endowed by their creator with certain alienable rights. Let me help you with your transaction, sir. May I see your credentials, please? Does this suffice? He instantly grabs the object from your hand. Let me see. It says you're a broken mask of self-righteousness. Here are your documents, sir. I hope they will aid you in the game of misery, piss, and shit. Struggle begins. He's not wearing any pants. Alright, combat basics. Combat in Stygian consists of turns. Each turn your character and the enemies move and act in their own rounds to the extent that their action points allow. Each action requires a certain amount of action points to be committed. From the upper left corner of the screen, you can monitor the health, sanity levels, and switch between the equipped weapons of your active character. You can also reload an equipped firearm by simply clicking on the weapon's icon. If you wish to use a quick item, perform a combat ability, or cast a spell, simply right-click on the active character and choose the related icon. Okay. Grace. Oof. Alright. Special hexes. Certain hexes on the battlefield may have special functions, such as providing an opportunity to take cover or enabling you to flee from the battle. Right-click on the object that may provide cover while standing next to it in order to view the Take Cover button. Press the Escape button on the lower right edge of the screen while standing on a purple hex to flee from battle. You can end your character's round by either clicking on the Defend or Focus buttons. Defend button enables you to utilize the remaining action points to increase the physical defense of the active character. Focus button enables you to utilize the remaining action points to create a bonus to the character's next attack roll. The bonuses get higher in accordance with the number of action points allocated to these procedures. Alright. Defend. Critical hit. Shit. Well, that's interesting. At the start of each new turn, the order of initiative gets determined anew by the reaction core of the combatants. You can see who acts when from the initiative wheel, which is looking okay. Damn. corpses in combat. You can loot fallen enemies by right-clicking on the corpses and selecting the related icon. Okay. Cool, cool. Ooh. Fair enough. Fair enough. But, you know, maybe I won't play this the whole stream, and you know, maybe I'll jump into the other one in a little bit. Let's see. Not. Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Stygian is not about winning but enduring. You won't be able to win all the battles that you find yourself in. After damaging the enemy to a certain extent, the blue-colored progression escape hexes will appear on the battlefield. If you can reach one of those hexes with your active character, click on the escape button that is located on the lower right corner of the screen. You can make a progression escape. Once the player character manages to leave combat this way, the progression escape is considered successful, creating you a safe passage from the dangers of the battle while rewarding you with the same amount of XP as in a victory. Okay. That's good to know. That's fair. That is fair. A new struggle begins. cover, and then we will... And then we'll also shoot him. Oof. Come here. Cover. That dude. And I'm going to focus. Nice. Dude needs to be healed. Angst. What is angst? Level up. You have just gained up a level. Do not raise your hopes up, though. You are still as thin as a rail against the horrors lurking in the dark corners of the cosmos. You have 2 skill points and a merit point to further develop your character. You can acquire either a perk or a combat ability with a merit point. It's advised that you raise your skills first in order to meet the requirements of some perks and abilities. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I do want to check out the roguelike ones though. So I may play another 30 minutes to an hour of this, and then switch over, play that for a couple hours. I don't know. I mean, I'm enjoying this. What do you think of this one so far? Yeah. Merit point. Wisdom of the Centuries. Spellcraft. Increase melee attack. So that. Okay, cool. Inventory. Can I not just use it? I might just be able to use it. Stranger's Note 2. But stronger still, I swear by our... But stranger still, I swear by our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ that he knew about Frederick. He knew of my only son, about his incurable disease, and not just the fact of it, but every symptom, every maddening detail. He claimed to have certain powers, that he could cure my boy. All he asked in return is that I install on his behalf a safe marked with the number 0. It would be our little secret. Ah, okay. Interesting. Let's see. I see. How we can use this now. Use on outsider. Definitely needs it. Okay. Safe is locked. Raw opium. God, this game has got all the drugs. Canned spaghetti. Alright. Get that canned spaghetti. That canned spaghetti. Ah. Good gracious. Let me use... this. On... the outside. These damned lunatics. Eduardo can take cover. Then he's gonna shoot this dude. And he's gonna shoot him again. Alright, the outsider is going to come. No. Outsider's gonna come. Let's see. Okay. Split circle. I'm hurting you. Alright. Jughead. Uh-oh. Alright. Jug. No, that's not yours. Perdona me, senor, but we all need to eat, no? I did my duty as your protector de Angel Personal. I wish I could stay for your warm smile, but life is no fairy tale. You wish me to stay, you pay, yes? Alright, fine. Eduardo smiles and bows before taking the small bundle from your hands. Gracias, senor. I'll be at your side until La Diosa Fortuna betrays me. He playfully adds, or until you run out of tobacco. Let's go. Got here. Liver pocket watch, cool. On the origin of species. Interesting. Like notebook, Danforth's compass. What's that? Offhand item, esoteric gadget. This Brunton compass once belonged to Miles Danforth of Miskatonic University. If only Danforth could have made as much use of it in his fever dreams as he did in his aerial explorations. Power. Increased world map speed. Okay, interesting. Warfish. Artifacts. You've acquired an artifact. Each artifact in Stygian has a supernatural power and a malediction that represents the dangers of meddling with such occult items. You can learn the powers of artifacts either by yourself with the occult research rest activity or by making Isidore decipher them in exchange of SIGs. That the malediction of an artifact can only be discovered by occult research. Okay, interesting. Morphine shot. Camera. Note 3. Ammunition, good. Whiskey. Cigarettes, silver necklace. Let's read that bank manager's note again. Alright, let's see. Read. However, I try to erase it from my mind. I cannot forget the man's reply when I asked the significance of the number 0. Well, little man, every countdown ends with 0, does it not? The safe will be necessary after the end of all that is. God forgive me, but I did as he asked. I concealed the accursed safe in the wall of my office 2 nights ago. It seems that damned motivational poster served a purpose after all. I swim in dark waters now, and God forbid should I vanish. Yeah, be a type bot. Own something. Safe that should not be there. A haphazard effort to break up the hole in this wall suggests that someone wishes to conceal something behind it. Can you break through that wall, Eduardo? Although he's been so many things, Eduardo Cornelio is no wall worker, senor. El Bruto waiting at the bank entrance. He carried a hammer, no? Let's go. Let's return to the entrance. Which guy has the hammer? You see a burly mob member watching the entrance of the ruined bank. Spit it out. I need you to break down a wall for me. And I need some doll in my arms and some copperhead in my stomach. Instead, I'm stuck here chasing fucking loonies. Now beat it. Unless you're willing to make it worth my while. Sure, I'll pay for it. 56. How about 35? It's easy money and you know it. Deal. Lead the way, mutt. Let's see this wall you hate so much. After you. They say don't dig the past. Junk man. Okay. Cthulhu statuette, Dismal Man's poem. A small gray-green stone idol of a grotesque winged creature. Although you cannot be sure of its age, it has an aura of abysmal antiquity. The soul of a scavenger of the seas shall be found inside a bottle of lead. The last wish of a bodiless starfarer shall be heard from a mouth not of flesh. A drop of swarming chaos shall be stolen under the ruins once halls of wisdom, and the book shall be read which should not be read. Only then may you wish to call me by the timeless stones on the nameless isle. Only then you may wish to walk by me between the endless realms of pitch black. What? You have something to say? Okay. About the recent event. The disfigured occultist approaches you. May I read the manuscript we found, stranger? My knowledge may help to illuminate its mystery. Show him the phone. He takes the manuscript as delicately as his claw-like hands will allow and reads it carefully. What can be the scavenger of the seas? Perhaps a sea monster of some kind. I've read about all kinds of sea beasts in my dusty tomes. Gargantuan devils that can sink galleons with their feelers. Hunters of the dark waters with razor-sharp teeth. What was meant in the line about the bodiless starfarer? Bodiless starfarer. I know there are celestial beings of great power journeying across the endless blackness. Could it be one of them? What do you think the drop of swarming chaos symbolizes? The reference is too vague to make a reasonable guess, stranger. And the book that should not be read? Why seek a book that should not be read? Such knowledge is often followed by damnation. Where do you suppose we might find it? The depiction resonates as a tome of the dark arts to me. A native who is knowledgeable either in such artifacts or the occult itself can perhaps enlighten you further. Okay, let's go. How many six do I got? I got 175. That's not bad. Okay. Let's do this. Let's go to. Alright, let's go to the eel house and see if we can get that that pocket watch from the dude. You see a tipsy, talkative-looking blonde man leaning against the bar. His reddish eyes roam the room as if looking for someone. Sorry to bother you, sir, but may I ask a question? Go on. I see you've just arrived at Marino's fine establishment, and I was curious whether you happened to see a rustic-looking fellow hanging around outside. Yeah. No, I didn't. You didn't? Good. I must have been imagining his primitive gaze upon my back. Let me introduce myself. I am Stanley Fredkin. I used to be a lecturer in the literature department at Miskatonic before committing wholly to my true intellectual passion, the study of folklore. But we can talk more about me later. In the meantime, may I buy you a drink, sir? No thanks. Your choice, sir. I merely wanted to set the mood for some civilized conversation. Now, what were we talking about? Why are you looking for the rustic man? I'm afraid he is the one who's looking for me. I've had some minor problems with my current employer. Nothing I can't resolve, of course, but I suspect he may have sent that illiterate to find me. Who is this employer? He is a foreign investor who is interested in my advice. I see. Another thing. You mentioned Miskatonic. Did you mean the university on Main Street? No, I meant the river. Don't people learn about major water bodies in school these days? Forgive me, sometimes the sarcastic Stanley takes hold. Yes, I used to work at Miskatonic University. It is no boast to say I was a mighty fine instructor during my time at the university. What a sad day it must have been when the students learned I had chosen the path of the wandering folklorist. What have you been studying lately? Oh, I see that I have aroused your interest. I've been known to have that effect on people, being an intellectual inspiration and all. To get to your question, I've been in Vermont recording the legends of the winged ones of the hills, a very profound topic indeed. From Pinnacook myths to the legends of Governor Wentworth's colonial grants, you'll find mention of these winged beasts from the skies. Whispers of these creatures may be found even in the folklore of the distant Himalayas. There must be a reason for these beliefs to be so widespread, right? And what do you suspect is the reason? There are things I am willing to share for the benefit of the public good, and there are the things that I am not. Let's see. So you study folktales. New England folklore, to be specific. I'm sure you've heard of my book, Kingsport Folktales. It was very well received in academic circles, and among more common readers, too. You must at least have heard about it, right? No, I haven't. You haven't. Perhaps we are not quite as erudite as I first believed. Otherwise, you certainly would have known about a book of such cultural significance. Is there anything you're not good at? Other than the vulgar athletic disciplines? No, I don't believe so. I've always maintained that with a healthy brain, you can achieve anything. Remember these words, sir. Invest in your brain. I'll keep that in mind. Now, what were we talking about? Goodbye. So soon? Alright, leave, sir, your choice. He quickly tosses the remaining whiskey down. You're no different, of course. Can't you recognize a person of natural quality? Do I have to tell you that out of all these people, all the clueless illiterates, I, Stanley Fredkin, have possibly discovered an escape from this hellhole? I was chosen. What are you talking about? He suddenly comes to his senses. Nothing. Nothing at all. Damn this vile whiskey of yours, Marino. I had better take my leave. Alright. What have you got, Jug? Why? Why do you think that's acceptable? No. You ding dong. Stop. Okay, no, I don't want to rest yet. I want to look for that. There we go. Cornelius's pocket watch. Great. Rest. Gain 7 sanity, 1 health, gain 3 sanity, and temporary damage resistance. Cool. Let's do's it, to's it. Do's it, to's it. Jug, dude, just lay down and go to sleep, man. buy more healing items. You see a middle-aged, educated-looking man with a hint of danger in his smile. This must be the owner of the pharmacy, Richter. A new one, surprising, and just when I thought I had finally run out of possibilities. I mean business. You know, our numbers aren't growing these days. Now tell old Richter what makes you tick. I rarely disappoint. What kinds of medicines do you sell? Ah, the kinds that people really need. Tell me what is absent in your world. Euphoria, relief, self-confidence? If you don't have the remedy already, I can make it in my little laboratory. Let me see your stock. Of course, everyone in this town wants to peruse Uncle Richter's stock. Why should you be an exception? Cocaine. Empty syringes. Oh wait, no, this is... okay. He does have laudanum. 203 cigs. Oof. I can get a couple of them, maybe. Let's do 2. Done. 58 cigs. Alright. How do I get out of here? A rustic-looking fellow approaches you with a note in his hand. He puts the small folded paper into your hand. Hey, wait. Wanders away without a word. The outsider speaks as the rustic-looking man leaves. Was he a servant carrying the word of his lord? Last time I saw his master, he looked to be in considerable trouble. Okay, I don't know what that means, but fine. Oh boy. Oh damn. Oh, that's him. Damn. Too late. We're too late. I shouldn't have rested. I can do about that now. Are you done with the key? Here it is. You broke it. Are you trying to mock me? Why did you do it? It wasn't intentional, it was an accident. Seems utterly dejected. Please leave. I have to adjust my notes on the pattern. Leave me alone. But Let's see. How do you intend to pay for it? 6? There's some 40 cigarettes. What did you have in my keys? I collect them, you see. All sizes and shapes. If you happen to come across any keys in this accursed place, bring them to Schmidt's Antiques. I will gladly trade the exquisite items from my collection for keys. Or if you don't care about your health, I can also pay with cigarettes. But if you also accepted cigs and trade, it would allow you to obtain more keys. I have all the cigs I need. What if someone were to bring you a special key worth more than everything you have here? Very well, as to your point, I will accept cigs in payment, but only from you. See what you got. 1206. Puppet Twilight. No, wait. A bundle of cigs. I had of Louisiana and Voodoo Priest Puppet Twilight. Grants the wearer increased supernatural defense. That's cool. A foist. Sell my keys. Well, these are expensive. Expensive. 1885 Vigilante. Psychology. Increases the reaction and grants a bonus to the rest activity. Keep watch. Use to hide the wearer's identity. Grants the wearer increased stealth and physical defense. That's kind of cool. Alright, one last thing. Silver pushes his glasses up over his blurry eyes and takes a closer look at the object. It looks like a rendition of one of the deities that the cult worships. I've seen a crude totem similar to this one on the riverside. The art style is peculiar, though. I cannot attribute it to any culture I know of, and I can't say that I enjoy its presence. Take it away, sir. I don't want anything related to that bloody cult in my shop. Okay. Investigate statuette. Failed that one. So we have Arkham. Alright, let's go. Back to the eel, I suppose. Oh, he's not here. But hold on. Didn't that dude give me a note? Oh, I finally found the exit that I mentioned to you. I can get us out. Meet me in my house at number 39 Main Street. Okay, cool. Let's go then. We'll switch over to Lovecraft's Untold Stories in about 10 minutes or so. Shit. Alright, 39. Number 39. Main Street. Is this Main Street? I don't think this is Main Street. Oh, this is Main Street. Okay. Number 39. There it is. This store seems to be sturdily locked for a typical building of Arkham with such decrepitness. I mean, I do want to play it. You know how I feel about them roguelites. You hear approaching footsteps and a blunt, uneducated voice is heard from behind the door. Who's this? Mr. Fredkin is expecting me. You hear the clicking of the lock and the door creaks to let you in. Glad to see you. This way. This room. Rest. You see Stanley sitting in the dark, looking pale and devoid of his former energy, as annoying as it was. He begins to whisper in a discomforting tone, though you can't place just what it is that's bothering you about his voice. Welcome, sir. Thanks for coming on such short notice. Forgive my threadbare appearance. My studies have left me completely exhausted. Honestly, I ought to rest and recover. But I am so close to finding a way out. So close, it is worth testing the limits of this shell of flesh and bone. Let's see. Seems you've solved the situation with the rustic-looking man. Oh, yes, yes. It was a minor nuisance. He serves me well within his rather limited ability, of course. So now you know how to leave this place? Precisely. It is past time I leave this filthy nest of apes behind me forever. But as you can see, my ill health won't allow me to complete my work. I also have serious doubts that my current assistant is resourceful enough to aid me in the last stage of the process. And this is where I come in. See what I mean? I need quick reasoning and a practical mind like yours to finish the job. Help me to complete my work and you will accompany me, the only other person privileged to do so, far away from this whirlpool of primal vibrations. And how are you planning to get us out of here? I won't bore you with the highly technical specifics, just know that my connections allow me to discover way beyond the borders of man's limited science. If you knew what they've taught me about our universe. Who are these connections? You'll meet them when we're ready to leave, don't worry. Tell me what I need to do. Right to the point, I like that. A few essential parts are needed to complete my research. A long-wave radio transmitter, an electrical conductor, and some formaldehyde. These items are the last things standing between us and infinity. Where can I find them? Unfortunately, you have to do this part on your own. My friend Richter at the drugstore would be a good place to start. Debauched he may be, but he seems to have the skills to aid us in this final phase. I have some questions. Never mind. Unfortunately, my illness dictates that I rest now. We'll talk more later, my friend. Alright. Moonwalk. Alright, let's check the journal real quick. Stanley Frickin claims he knows a way out of Arkham. Good Richter's drugstore. Alright. last thing. Then I'll save it and switch over. Get a little change of pace here. Little change of pace. No, stop talking to me. What's this? Going on up there. Okay. Definitely will want to investigate that, but let's take a look at this first. How can old Richter help you with your needs? I'm here for some formaldehyde. Formaldehyde? What are you planning to preserve? A lifeless fetus, perhaps? Forget it. Who am I to question others' questionable pursuits? The truth is, I don't have any formaldehyde. It's a bit out of my field. Do you know where I can get some? Let's see. The main component of formaldehyde turns out to be methyl alcohol. There should be a pretty high methyl alcohol output at the distillery because of that charlatan Wheat's crude distilling methods. So if you can get me the methyl alcohol from the mob's distillery, I guess I can make you some formaldehyde, for a price of course. And at last I can preserve my dead fetuses in the back decently. Just joking. Or am I? Where is this distillery? It's to the east of Riverside. Here, let me show it to you. Show it on your map. Who is this Wheat you mentioned? A drunk fraud who pretends to be the distiller of the mob. I've heard that his own whiskey brand was third class at best, even before the Black Day. You can guess how primitive and graceless his products now are. Another thing? Let's see. Do you know where I can find a radio transmitter? A transmitter? It won't be easy to find such a delicate machine part in Arkham. I would try the French Hill streets, though. I've heard a man called Dumitrescu resides there. I know that surname. If he is the person I think he is, that man may be your best bet. Alright, I think that's it. Alright, and kinda wanna see what's in that building next door. Well, I was giving off some weird vibes. Weird vibes. Oh, no, no, not there. Oh, shit. The heavily scarred man who was conducting the ritual abruptly turns to you like a scared predator caught in a trap. Soon after, you come to realize this man must have been condemned to some kind of torture that ultimately crippled both his flesh and soul. After making a heathen hand gesture, the man speaks with a voice that can only be described as a disturbingly loud whisper.
They sent you to bring me back, home dog. They think Rogue is still the easy meat he used to be. One step closer and Barzal anew shreds you into 1,000 pieces.
You can feel a ruinous power emanating from this broken man. I have no idea what's going on here. After a brief look of surprise, his pained eyes can scan you cautiously.
Make yourself known, or I'll let the black worms devour your eyes.
Look, I respect your confidentiality and must ask for the same. You're not the only one who has enemies. The man calling himself Trog tips his head strangely to one side, as if listening to an invisible advisor.
Yes, this one has a sharp tongue, Barzal. That may make a good spell component for sure.
Wait, Jug, you don't like that voice I'm making? You don't like that voice?
The question is, shall I trust him?
After a small pause, Krog nods, and his whispering turns loud and blood-freezing.
Kalashantur Daregan Sith Nabshak.
What's going on? You've used your tongue. It's time I used mine, intruder. You feel a form of consciousness probing your mind as the toxic stench of brimstone attacks your nostrils. When you return to your senses, you find Krog's gaze locked on you. You are not allied with my adversaries. This means you may live for a few moments more. For a few minutes? You think I would take the risk of letting you... All of a sudden, the man falls into violent spasms, seemingly the result of extreme pain. Are you alright? Ignoring you, Krog concentrates on breathing deeply for a while before he can whisper again, I cannot let you go. No one seeing me on this side of the river may live. Krog winces again as if the pain has just returned to show him it is not going anywhere soon. Look, you're in serious pain. I can bring you all kinds of sedatives. He takes a moment to weigh your offer. It is true that I need some supplies, and I wouldn't say no to a pipe full of opium. A cigarette wouldn't hurt either. You got one? Sure, here you go. He grabs the cig from you, lights it with the flickering flame of a ritual candle, and inhales deeply. Ah, the only thing I miss about fucking America. Since I prefer not to leave the protection of my domain, the supplier could come in handy. He turns to a vacant corner of the room. What do you think, Barzal? The tortured man gets lost in a feverish discussion, only occasionally interrupted by a nod coming from his side. At last, he turns to you again. There may be a way. I'm listening. Barzal Tharaganu knows an old curse. It is called Verba Derelicta. It was once used on spies and assassins as a precaution in case they get caught. The one who carries the Verba Derelicta cannot even mention the name of the caster, and if the cursed is punished to their limits, as in interrogation, they simply die. Do I have a choice? It was you who trespassed in our domain, and as your host, me and Barzal Tharaganu have the final say. Cursed or dead? It would be more beneficial to you if I retain my full faculties. What if I need to lie to protect you? While you're trying to talk some sense into the scarred man, he's already whispering in Magus Latin. Upon the touch of an ice cold drop right in the middle of your forehead, you realize the curse has been inflicted. And have I told you the spell is also quite quick to cast? You see Krog smiling for the first time. But don't put the sackcloth in ashes, my friend. We can be real allies now. And in time you may discover that a warlock and a demon can come very handy in a town that's gone to hell. And now that I've got my curse, I better take my leave. You better. Okay. Interesting. Alright. On that note, let's save. And we'll switch over for a little while.